Some might say pulling teeth is easier than passing a budget, but Dr. Vandermolen is taking that to heart. Advanced Dental Care hasn't received state funding in almost a year. Springfield police believe they've caught the dollar store bandit. Police say the suspect is responsible for 7 other robberies, including the one that happened just behind me weeks ago. Not only will this bill remove sales tax on feminine products, but on incontinence products as well. Participants began at the old state capitol and ended just behind me. Senator Oberweis says he's open to changing the language in the bill. He says there isn't anything magical about the age 26, but he wanted to propose something that would open the discussion to lawmakers in both chambers. A subcommittee has been called in this room today to discuss the governor's funding plans for MAP grants. For those who have yet to file their federal income taxes, now have until Monday, April 18th. And just as before, there are a lot of options to get that filing done. This Gold's Gym behind me has been vacant for almost a year. Now the mayor is considering turning the facility into the Salvation Army's homeless shelter, which has some residents concerned.
Well, I feel sorry for this town here in Auburn that they're not going to have a local dentist office because of our state.
Auburn Dental has been forced to shut its doors for good as the state moves into month 9 without a budget. And as patients travel miles away from home for services, the sudden closure caught some by surprise.
I drove 4 hours to get here today just so that I could pick up my dentures.
Varner says he was also taken by surprise when he received his dentures for free.
They are not billing the state for them because of their office closing. So, that's a blessing to me.
Many offices like Auburn have been fronting services free of charge for service providers like Medicaid. Others have been fronting fees for state workers and have been feeling the costly burden. Some might say pulling teeth is easier than passing a budget, but Dr. Vandermolen is taking that to heart. Advanced Dental Care hasn't received state funding in almost a year.
Typically they're 3, 4, 5 months behind. Well, now they just totally stopped. So we're not sure when we're going to be paid.
Although some offices can afford to keep their doors open right now, doctors are worried about financial stability for the future.
We're waiting for the payments, and we can't collect the payments from the patients, and I don't feel that's right anyway.
Though the budget has caused some offices to reach their breaking point, Vandermolen is hopeful lawmakers will work together to save his office from closing.
Hopefully Mr. Madigan and Mr. Rauner will meet and figure something out. They're not going to solve everything in one meeting, but just do something and get a budget so that everybody can get back to normal.
Cherie Phipps, News Channel 20. With the efforts of raising money for a local crisis center, one woman asked men to literally walk 1 mile in women's shoes.
We use the shoes as a symbol to get things talking, and also, just the old saying, you don't know what someone goes through unless you walk a mile in their shoes.
The 10th year Walk a Mile in Her Shoes is an event to help fight against sexual assault. Men, women, and even local lawmakers joined together to help raise awareness, all while walking in high heels.
My right foot, my toes are hurting me a little bit, but actually it wasn't too bad.
Despite a little foot pain, Representative Tim Butler says this was an event he could not miss.
Obviously with the budget impasse and the severe impact that it's had on sexual assault funding in the state, I thought it was very important to come out here as a member of the General Assembly and support PCAS and raise a little bit of money for him.
Tim Butler and his supporters have raised over hundreds of dollars, and organizers say the event has been a financial success.
Our total will be between $35,000 and $37,000, which is such a relief.
Participants began at the old state capitol and ended just behind me. In front of the State House, organizers rallied off a call to action, urging everyone to reach out to local lawmakers to push for a budget.
We depend on people in our community and the people that are supporters to get that message out, because it takes everyone to prevent and end sexual violence.
Vaughn says not only does this event help bring the community together, but it also serves as an opportunity of healing for survivors. Cherie Phipps, News Channel 20. Feminine hygiene products have an added luxury tax, yet some shoppers would disagree that these are luxury items.
They absolutely aren't a luxury item. It's ridiculous that we're taxed on something like that that's a mandatory product for all women.
Senator Melinda Bush has proposed a new bill after saying women are unfairly taxed when it comes to tampons and sanitary napkins.
This is a medical necessity for women, and they shouldn't be paying 6.25% sales tax.
Back in 1989, the Illinois Supreme Court removed the sales tax on feminine products.
20 years later, 2009, just by the stroke of a pen, through a rules change, it was instituted again.
Not only will this bill remove sales tax on feminine products, but on incontinence products as well.
We're mainly talking seniors, and we're also talking a high proportion of women, because women that give childbirth tend to become incontinent.
However, one shopper says he understands the reasons for taxation, but he says there's a difference between items you need and items you want.
It's not like it's a choice. It's just like any type of medication that you need or anything like that. It's not something that you want to buy.
So far, 5 states have adopted similar legislation. The bill passed in committee, but Senator Bush plans to hold on to it in Rules Committee for further discussion. Cherie Phipps, News Channel 20.